HTMX, a UI library for the web that can replace your JavaScript framework with the simplicity of HTML. Plain HTML is more capable than you think. Every time you click on a link or submit a form, it automatically sends an HTTP request to the server and renders the response in the UI. It's so easy, but why stop there? HTMX embraces an architectural constraint known as hypermedia as the engine of application state by adding new attributes to HTML that can handle the complex requirements of modern UIs. It gives you the ability to make a request to the server from any element by providing an attribute with an HTTP verb and the URL endpoint on the server. It'll take the response from the server and replace this element asynchronously, or it can specify a target to replace a different element on the page. It can also customize the event on which it's triggered, along with modifiers like delay and throttle to control the way the request is sent. It keeps track of the loading state so you can show a spinner, applies CSS transitions for animation, and builds on the HTML validation API to validate forms. It even has a client-side router called Boost that can make any traditional web application feel like a faster single-page application. And it also includes extensions for more advanced features like WebSockets and integrations with other HTML frameworks like Alpine. To install it, simply import HTMX in a script tag from the head of an HTML document. You just put the hyper back into hypertext. Now all you need is a server in your favorite programming language that returns HTML text as a response. Now we can use the hxGet attribute to make a request to this endpoint, along with hxSwap to replace this element with the HTML in the response. When swapping though, we don't only have the option to replace the outer HTML, but we could also append or prepend the response to the existing UI, or the hxTarget attribute allows us to move the UI to a completely different element. It finds that element with a CSS selector, but has additional syntax like next and closest, allowing you to easily find the proper element without a bunch of custom IDs. We might also use HTMX indicator to show a loading spinner, and write a CSS transition animation for the incoming element. Behind the scenes, HTMX has an extensive event system that you can tap into by listening to custom events with JavaScript. And if you want to run your own client-side JavaScript, the hxOn attribute allows you to bind a JavaScript function to any element. And that's all it takes to build a highly polished full-stack HTML application on the information superhighway. This has been HTMX in 100 seconds. Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.